Welcome back to Secrets in the Dark, where we delve into the mysteries of the most infamous crimes in history. I'm your host Meg, and today we're uncovering the unsolved murder of one of the hip-hop's most influential figures, Tupac Shaqur. The murder of the most iconic artist remains unsolved nearly 3 decades later. On September 7th, 1996, in Las Vegas, Nevada, a tragic event occurred that would change the course of hip-hop history. Tupac Shakur, a 25-year-old influential rapper, actor, and activist, was shot multiple times in a drive-by shooting. He died 6 days later from his injuries. Let's explore the events leading up to that fateful night. On the evening of September 7th, 1996, Tupac attended a Mike Tyson boxing match at the MGM Grand Hotel. After the match, he and his entourage, including Death Row Records CEO Suge Knight, got into a physical altercation with a gang member in the lobby. Later that night, while driving to a club in a black BMW with Suge Knight, a white Cadillac pulled up alongside them at a red light. An unidentified assailant fired multiple shots at the car, hitting Tupac 4 times. Suge Knight, who was also injured, drove to a nearby intersection where they were stopped by police and paramedics were called. Tupac was taken to the University Medical Center of Southern Nevada. The investigation into Tupac's murder was complex and controversial. The Las Vegas Metro Police Department launched an investigation but faced difficulties due to the lack of cooperation from witnesses and conflicting testimonies. Key evidence included bullet casings, witness statements, and surveillance footage from the MGM Grand. Key theories have been gang-related, so that the murder was a result of gang violence, possibly linked to the earlier altercation with the Crips member, which I think is the most, relevant one. That's the most, that's obvious. That definitely could have something to do with that physical altercation at the MGM. Another one is the infamous East Coast, West Coast feud, that the shooting, it was connected to this hip-hop rivalry, specifically involving rival rapper the Notorious B.I.G. and his associates. Others believe that it was an inside job related to Death Row Records and Suge Knight's operations. Now, some notable subjects. Subjects include Orlando Anderson, the Crips gang member involved in that altercation with Tupac earlier. He was questioned but never charged. And same for the Notorious B.I.G. Allegations arose that he and his associates were involved, though these were largely speculative and unproven, so there wasn't much to back that up. The investigation remains unsolved. There's despite numerous investigations, various leads, no one's been officially charged with his murder. It has been an unsolved murder for 3 decades. It has had such a lasting impact on the hip hop community. People still are posting things about today, who it could be. I think the most obvious one would be the Crips doing it because of that altercation. Thinking typical gang violence, you're going to go, altercation, let's get him. That's my way of looking at this. But obviously there is the infamous East Coast, West Coast feud that just took over hip-hop rivalry, and obviously included the Notorious B.I.G. So people have gone on and on about the possibility of that. I don't have too many theories to do with this one. I think it was the Crips member, but many, many people think the feud, the East Coast, West Coast, had something to do with this. The cultural impact includes Tupac's influence on music, culture, and social issues remain significant. Posthumous albums and documentaries have kept his legacy alive. There's so many documentaries on Tupac. They're really moving. They're really interesting. I really recommend them. The public fascination, the mystery surrounding his murder continues to captivate the public and has been the subject of so many books, films, and conspiracy theories. It goes on and on. This is the funniest thing, anything that has a mystery, if it's any unsolved case, like, gets a documentary or a TV special, book, film about it. That's what I find so funny about, like, the film industry. If they can make something about it, they're gonna make something about it. And it, like, obviously it depends, because, like, documentaries can vary, like, because there's some documentaries that are about the case, like, just about what happened. It just tells the story of the case, like in this case Tupac, just goes step by step, this happened, police did this is who they thought it'd be, blah blah blah, it didn't happen. But there's other ones where it's actually, the documentary is about people trying to figure it out, like solving this, which they're the most interesting ones, because you get to see, like, how they figure it out, how they solve it, the different ways they're going, how they're thinking. It's so interesting. And, like, behavioural, because there was the internal conflict, like the death row records, internal, so that has to do with behavioural and, like, how they're behaving, because if it's internal, like, he's gone in and he's done that personally. He's gone, like, connection with Tupac, and then he's gone, all right, let's connect, we got this time, let's get him, which, that's another theory. That's so interesting. I love those types of theories about, like, the planning, like, the meticulous planning of things is just crazy. Talking about theories, let's think about some other theories over the years. Includes surviving edits. Despite lack of concrete evidence, theories persist, keeping the public's fascination alive. That's the thing. That's what keeps these unsolved cases alive, is that people are just, that, like, the lack of evidence. If there's no evidence, people are always going to try and think of new theories, and the coming up of new theories is what keeps these cases alive, which I think it really depends. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's, let's keep them alive, but other cases just need to be set to rest, which, to me, this is one of them. But, like, that's another thing, this needs to be set to rest, but because Tupac was such a influential person, it kind of can't. He'll always have that lasting impact, which I think everyone needs to remember Tupac as the person, not over his death. And another theory, others speculate that Tupac was targeted due to his influence and outspoken views on social and political issues. He was a very political person, Tupac, and he obviously shared his views. Like, he was an influential figure, and he believed in what he believed in, and he liked to share it. And there's nothing wrong with that. But obviously, in this case, people are theorising that that's come back to bite him, which can happen with a lot of, like, these, like, famous missing people, like, famous missing persons and famous murders. People go, well, they do this, they're very controversial, so maybe this could have something to do with it. Oh my god. So, obviously another one is that they faked his death and he's living in hiding. I cannot deal with the fake deaths. Like, Tupac, Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley, like, these people that think they're still alive. And obviously there's, like, that video with Michael Jackson, example of him getting out of the ambulance. It's just, it's understandable when, like, because of this lack of concrete evidence, people are going to theorise that, yes, he may have faked his death. But, to me, it's highly unlikely. I know people go, well, because he's so famous, they need to get away. It's like, well, no, No, it doesn't make sense. Why would you want to live in hiding your life? Like, you're living such a bad life. Like, you don't get to live your life. You're in hiding because you faked your death. But now I'm going back on what I said. Now I think about it. This could, in this case, because he was in the, like, he's had this altercation with the Crips. He's in the East Coast, West Coast feud. It could have been a way out, but, which then goes to think, was this like a last minute thing, or was this planned? Was this fake death? Could he have planned this physical altercation with the Crips member at the MGM so people would go, well, it could be them, blame the Crips and make out this shooting, and then faked his death, which would be very interesting on how that would have happened, because if he was in hospital for 6 days and then died, how is he going to go around that? I keep on going back on what I said, but it's just this fake death, anything that has to do with fake death, faked death, you can just you can say one thing, go back on it, then go back on what you said before. It's just a very, it's like pinball. The fascination. This story is just, it's an unfortunate one, but it is such a public fascination. Anyway, so today we've explored the tragic and unsolved mystery of Tupac Shakur. Will we ever find out who killed Tupac? Only time will tell. Thank you for joining us on this journey into one of hip-hop's most baffling cases. Thank you for listening to Secrets in the Dark.